People can hear me.
You choice.
I think so. Am I live? I'm live. Am I live? Make this bigger. Can anyone hear me? If anyone can hear me, let me know in the chat. Okay, so the verdict is about to. The jury has reached.
Studio A, it's hot, it's humid. I can't see all of you in the monitor, so Nima, please, will the jury hear? Will the judge rather be hearing the verdict for the first time when we do?
The judge is going to get to see it, I guess, maybe 30, 45 seconds before, and then at that point, yeah. So the judge will know right before we will.
Okay, so this is all kind of happening in real time, off the cuff here, and the judge will be finding out, you know, barely any time before the rest of us. Sarah Wilson on YouTube asked, are they going to show the courtroom when it's being read? Yes, Sarah, that's what you're seeing now on your screen is a live picture of the courtroom. You see the attorneys there, you see Johnny Depp's attorneys there, you see Amber's attorneys, and you see Amber herself. Again, for those of you who are just tuning in, because we have new people logging on every minute as we get closer and closer, literally 1 minute away from 3 o'clock. Johnny Depp, we have been told by sources close to him, obviously is not going to be here. He's not there now. He is still in the UK after doing a series of surprise performances with Jeff Beck. He is expected to stay there. His team said that he had prior commitments in the UK, and he will be watching the verdict from there. We'll see whether he issues any kind of comment, video statement. We just don't know what we'll hear from him, but we do expect we will hear from his legal team
First Amendment rights
as soon as this is over. And again, our cameras outside of the courtroom on standby, where we have seen crowds growing, supporters, and so forth, as we get ready for this verdict to be read. It is about 3 o'clock.
All right, are we ready for the jury?
To be able to
Yes,
talk
Your Honor.
about this. And
All right.
so,
Just for everybody in the gallery, reminding us that this is a court of law.
I understand there are 5 men on
regardless
the
of the verdict, I will not tolerate any outbursts whatsoever. Okay? Thank you.
God, I'm so nervous.
If I could have the attorney's approach for a moment.
All right, so the judge has just asked the attorneys to approach the bench. So the mics are down for this. Let's see.
All right, again, you're looking live. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what I need you to do, I need to give you the forms back to you. When you find for a defamatory statement, one or more, you need to fill out the compensatory damages. It has to be at least $1 for compensatory damages and up to whatever you feel the damages should be. Back to the operation room and do that for me, okay? All right, so we'll be in recess till we hear back from them. Don't go too far, okay? Thank you.
I'm just trying to see if the screen is.
Well, just as we were telling you, this could wrap up in just about 10 minutes by 3:10, 3:15. Not so fast. There was a little sidebar going on with the attorneys in the front.
There's another sidebar, so I'm just going to turn this down while this is going on. So there's a special verdict form for compensatory damages that needs to be filled out. So I'm just trying to make sure the screen. Let me close this down and then add it again. So I am streaming from the Law and Crime Network. So let me just.
They missed that instruction and just figured out we're not awarding damages, so we're going to leave it blank. That's right. That's what it could sound like. Now, in the very unlikely event that they just forgot to do that section and they actually did intend for some kind of damages, we had a question from viewers earlier, which is what happens if there's a verdict, say, against Amber Heard and there's a judgment awarded for Johnny Depp and Amber Heard doesn't have that money, whether it's $50 million, whether it's $20 million, whether it's $10 million. What happens if she doesn't have that money, Linda?
Well, we have that in many civil cases where the person that gets the verdict, they don't have, the defendant doesn't have the money, right? You could pursue her. It could be a claim that follows her around for the rest of her life. That it gets docketed, it gets logged. She could discharge it in bankruptcy, assuming it's against her. You're making a lot of assumptions. Maybe it's against him, and it's a guy. Who knows? But the likelihood is that the dollar verdict.
Okay, that should be better now. So again, I was saying that the jurors have the right to publish any material that they have regarding this, any of their feelings, their experience. A lot of jurors around cases that are cases of the century, they do write tell-all books about the experience of being a jury for a trial like this. And so we may anticipate that a lot of news networks will contact them, reach out to them to get their take on this trial. Also, I think I was saying before the court went up was that there's 5 men on the jury and 2 women. So again, their identities will not be revealed until the verdict has been released. And during the trial process, a juror's identity is always protected. And they can tell their story after this. I've been nervous about the outcome of this because the jury took about 3 days to get to a verdict. So I'm very, very interested in this verdict. I've been waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I will be relieved. I mean, what will happen if Amber Heard loses? Will she have to pay this $50 million? She likely will. They will put a lien on her assets. A judgment will be entered and probably a lien on her assets. Maybe she has insurance for her insurance to pay for this. Maybe she has this money in the bank. We will see. We will see what will happen.
I wonder whether they know who's won and who's lost, Stacey.
And if they did perhaps see that, I mean, would that be an issue? Would there be any sort of violation of rules or any ethics issues if they saw it before it was read out publicly in court?
Absolutely. Quite frankly, they have a right to see it and to tell their clients. So there's no violation. They have to know when the jury has filled out the forms, and they have to know is there a problem because the judge has to tell them
what she is going to do so they can either lodge an objection or not
lodge an objection. And again, could they have just forgotten to fill it out? They may not have known that you.
So again, if you're just checking in, the verdict is supposed to be released in the next few minutes. There's some additional instructions regarding the compensatory damages that they have to fill out, that both sides have to fill out, that was not done preliminarily. So they have to go back and fill that out and then come back out. But let me know what you think about the trial so far, up to this point. My opinion is that I think Johnny Depp's team has operated with the utmost professionalism, with grace, with grace under fire, with dignity, with respect for the justice system, respect for their adversaries, even though litigation is a very adversarial dynamic. Egos are big. There's adrenaline pumping. Despite all of that, I think Johnny Depp's team has operated with the utmost professionalism and grace, and that was good to see. On the other hand, I think Amber's team was not professionally, was struggling in many areas, and it showed in their frustration, it showed in low blows, it showed in how they were interrogating the witnesses, it showed in their disdain and frustration for Johnny Depp's lawyers. So they were showing their hand a bit when they were frustrated instead of being more discreet about it. And it was showing that they were unraveling publicly. And the media had a field day about it. I mean, the poor man's media, YouTube, they had a field day in terms of how Amber Team's lawyers were performing in these moments. And I don't think it was their best moments. At one point, they asked a gentleman who was a witness for Johnny Depp's team later on in the trial. I forget his name, but he was from TMZ, and he contacted Johnny Depp's team to say, "Okay, I want to help in terms of clearing up the information about Amber Heard when we received the information about her TRO." So he decided to voluntarily come and help Johnny Depp's team. And Amber Heard's lawyer was like, "Are you here for fame?" I'm paraphrasing. Essentially, she's like, "Are you here for fame?" He's like, "Well, I can ask the same thing of you. You knew who Amber Heard was. Is this your 15 minutes of fame?" So it was showing that Amber Heard's team was frustrated because they were hitting below the belt. They thought people were there for the money, or they tried to present that the witnesses were there for the money, because Johnny Depp was their employer, instead of people really wanted to support Johnny Depp and thought that this claim was inappropriate, and they wanted to help him vindicate himself. Not seeing that, I mean, I guess it's like I said, litigation is an adversarial field. This is one of the reasons why many lawyers don't want to go into it, because you just almost have to be nasty sometimes. But despite that, we could see the good training of Johnny Depp's attorneys. You can see that despite what was going on in the courtroom, they were always respectful of the process. And that speaks to the type of lawyers that he hired. And that also speaks to Amber Heard's lawyers when they're frustrated, what they do. And we could see that in human beings too. When human beings are frustrated, how do they behave? They say you should measure someone in their worst moments. How do they behave? How do they conduct themselves when things aren't going their way? So again, YouTube had a field day with the memes in terms of Amber Heard's team. So I'm sure there's Amber Heard supporters out there. Just because we don't see many of them does not mean there are women out there. I've seen some articles and some videos saying that we should believe women all the time, no matter what. Women are the victims in these sorts of situations, no matter what, and I do not believe that to be the truth. I don't believe that to be the truth.
Everything you need to know. And don't forget, it's close to 100 degrees. Yeah, it's amazing 100 degrees. And I swapped the the sandals for the Brooks sneakers. So, but I ran out of there as everybody else did. Got on the elevator, came out. They obviously have set things up much differently now at the press conference area. They put up the I forget what you call them. Not barricades, but yeah, the little. They set it up so that the attorneys can walk out in a civilized manner and not be swarmed by people.
I'm sure when the attorneys walk out, they're going to be swarmed. I mean, Camille Vasquez has become a heroine in all of this, which has been remarkable to see. She sort of resurrected the legal field because fewer Latino women are going into law school. So she's inspired the next generation of women, which has been an unexpected outcome in this trial. So there's many people out there supporting Johnny Depp. Rumor has it that he ordered pancakes for the people out there supporting him. Has anyone else heard that? I thought that was so kind and thoughtful. He has obviously been overwhelmed with the amount of support unexpectedly. I don't think he realized how many people loved him and supported his work. And so he ordered pancakes for his supporters, the people who've been waiting out there for hours, making signs, alpaca costumes, all sorts of things. They have shown such support to him and such kindness to him.
Celebrities. TikTok started making videos about both of them. There have been plenty of moments in this trial that were comical, despite the very serious subject matter being discussed. But there have been some amusing moments, and they have become stars in their own right. They've become almost legal superstars. So they've become celebrities. There have been times out here when they've left court where I actually
So this case has been unprecedented because he asked for cameras to be. Oh, are we back up? All right, let me turn this up. So the public has galvanized to support Johnny Depp. Public outcry. Have we ever seen this before in history where the public has stood by somebody in such a way? It's remarkable. Waited outside the courtroom. I think the last time we saw this was probably the O.J. Simpson case, and that was a different outcome than many people imagined. But it was that level of attention, and that went on for, I believe, 18 months. And the nation was split because it dealt with police brutality. It dealt with the police department in LA. It dealt with the celebrity. And that probably was the last time where the nation was gripped with such a case. But here we are again. And this is dealing with a civil issue, not a criminal issue. It's dealing with defamation. I'm so anxious, you guys. I really am. So here we are. Let me know in the comment section if you can hear okay. My hands are freezing cold. All the blood has drained from my fingers because I'm so on edge regarding this. Amber Heard's worried if she has to pay $50 million. I'll tell you that.
All right, Mr. Foreperson, is this the verdict of the jury?
Yes.
All right, is it unanimous? Thank you, sir. Jamie?
Hopefully it's unanimous verdict.
In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, "Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change." In the Washington Post online edition, quote, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change," end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven, by clear and convincing evidence, that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. 2. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled, "A Transformative Moment for Women" in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, "Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change," in the Washington Post online edition. Quote, "Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out," end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven, by a greater weight of the evidence, that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven, by clear and convincing evidence, that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. 3. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled, "A Transformative Moment for Women" in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. End quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of this statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million. In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Ms. Heard's claim against Mr. Depp. 1. As to this statement, appearing in the April 8, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. 2. As to this statement, appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt did not do the trick. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Ms. Heard proven by a greater weight of the evidence that question, Mr. Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published the statement? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was seen by someone other than Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven, by clear and convincing evidence, that the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with actual malice? Answer, yes. 3. As to this statement, appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, we've reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Heard's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $0.
Does either side wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jane?
Members of the jury, if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Juror number 6. Juror number 10.
Yes.
Juror number 15.
Yes.
Juror number 16.
Yes.
Juror number 22. Juror number 27. Juror number 29.
Yes.
I do find that the jury's verdict is unanimous. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your service in this case. I want to thank you again for your dedication and your hard work during this trial. I know I speak for everybody here when I tell you that we appreciate your sacrifices and your time and your public service in this matter, okay? So I'm going to have you go back to the jury deliberation room for one more time, and then we'll release you from there, okay? All right, thank you.
I felt like I was on trial and that I was one of the attorneys. All the blood left my hands. My hands are ice cold. So Johnny Depp was successful in proving defamation, that the statements were published by Amber.
Okay. In accordance with law, I will amend the punitive damages award to the statutory cap of $350,000 on Mr. Depp's award, okay? I will set this down for entry of an order. And can we do it on June 24th at 10 a.m. if that's available? All right, so Mr. Chu, if you could prepare that order and then circulate it to Ms. Bretterhoff, and we can have all the objections noted on it. All right?
We'll do that, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right, and if I get it before that date, I'll take it off the docket, okay? All right, again, thank you to all the attorneys for your professionalism, and you're welcome to come to my courtroom anytime. Well, give me a few weeks, but then you can come anytime, okay? All right, court is adjourned. Thank you.
All right.
Over. Johnny Depp won in terms of proving defamation against Amber Heard. All of the elements, and that's what you heard, that the jury has to do is go through all of the elements, the key components of defamation, including whether the statements were published by Amber Heard. We see that in the op-ed. Yes, they were out there in the world. Whether there was malice meaning that she knew they weren't true and she said them anyway. And she should have known the statements to be false. And so defamation was proven, and they found that Johnny Depp's team was successful in proving and showing that Amber Heard acted with malice in a defamatory manner and publishing statements that were false, that she should have known were false. And so he was awarded $10 million in compensatory damages and then $5 million in punitive damages. Punitive damages because is an issue of malice, that you knew or should have known that the statements weren't true. So the court, in essence, punishes you for that. And that's why punitive damages are awarded. But there's a statutory limit of $350,000. So the judge knocked it down from $5 million to $350,000. And then for Amber Heard, she won in terms of compensatory damages because she brought a counterclaim against Johnny Depp. And so she was awarded, I believe, $2 million. My mother was yelling in the background, so I couldn't hear exactly. So $2 million, but no punitive damage. So here we are. Johnny Depp can move on with his life. The judgment will be entered on June 24th, as the judge has said. And so he won. And that is it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm so relieved for Johnny Depp to be able to put this behind him. Hopefully he can take this moment and just start to appreciate his life and the support that he's received from the world, and do better and get the help that he needs.
Outside the courtroom where you can see these fans, as I said, every time a judgment was read in favor of Johnny Depp, a huge crowd, cheers, went up here. The crowd cheering, Johnny, Johnny, clearly heavily tilted in favor of Johnny Depp outside the courtroom, right? And so they're still standing outside. I imagine they are going to be here waiting for Johnny Depp's legal team to come out. As I was mentioned a few minutes ago with Anjanette, the lawyers themselves have basically earned celebrity status during the course of this trial. The judge sending the jurors back into the jury room one more time before they are dismissed. Linda, do you think we're going to hear anything from Amber Heard?
Well, she came to the courthouse, so I assume that she will give a press conference. So they'll say they're going to appeal the verdict. They'll say that she was vindicated. Remember, this case has a lot of spin going on with it. But she's going to be asked the question: is how do you feel about the jury not believing your claims against Johnny Depp that he is he was the abuser? It turns out he was the victim, and she's not going to be happy with that question. I don't think there's an answer she can give that can spin that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's no question we're going to hear from her legal team. Maybe they'll take some questions. My guess is if she were to come out, and that's a big if because this is a pro-Johnny Depp crowd out here, if she were to come out, maybe she would make a brief prepared statement and then be like immediately ushered into a car by security. I don't think she's going to be doing any kind of press conference, answering any major questions right now. Depp's team, on the other hand, I expect they will be. Again, for those who are just tuning in, the verdicts, I should say, not the verdict, but the verdicts are in, and Johnny Depp, the clear winner here, the jury determining that Amber Heard did defame him on all 3 counts that were being considered in her 2018 Washington Post op-ed. And joining us now is the one, the only, Dan Abrams, the founder of the Law and Crime Network, with us. Dan, give me your reaction.
Well, first of all, we have to say, wow. I mean, I'm sitting in a car watching this live stream, just like 3 million plus others have been on the Law and Crime Network. And the fact that Johnny Depp won on all 3 of the counts is pretty amazing. Remember, this is a case where he sued a publication in London where the standard is harder to win, and a judge came back and said, no, he believed that Johnny Depp was a quote wife beater on 12 of 14 counts. Now you have a jury here of 7 people, 5 men and 2 women, coming back and saying that Johnny Depp was defamed on all 3 of the counts. I mean, this, I think, is a real surprise to a lot of people. Now, I had talked about previously the possibility of both of them, quote unquote, winning. But I think this, quote, win for Amber Heard is really a token win. Putting aside the money, right? Putting aside the fact that it's $15 million for him, $2 million for her. That's not just the issue here. You know, it sounds like the issue the jurors had with the statement made by the lawyer for Johnny Depp was about the fact that she got together with her friends, effectively conspiring. So maybe they didn't believe that aspect of it. But it seems to me that the takeaway from this case is these jurors believed Johnny Depp and they didn't believe Amber Heard. I don't think there is any other way to interpret all of these verdicts together.
Yeah, and Dan, I think that's a really good point because the statement in which the jurors found for Amber Heard was a longer one that Adam Waldman made, in which he said, you know, talking about Amber and her friends setting Johnny Depp up, and to your point saying, yeah, so Amber and her friends spilled a little wine, they roughed up the place, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, then placed a second call to 911. So perhaps the jurors didn't believe that whole sort of collaboration